Hello Flosstube, welcome back to Snickerdoodle Stitch. My name is Kathleen and this is a channel about cross stitch. So it's been a couple weeks since I filmed. Not that I got a lot of stitching done, but I did get some finished. I was on vacation for a week and my vacation was something of a disaster. So we were supposed to cruise out of Baltimore to Bermuda, and Bermuda it's east off the coast of the Carolinas. It's not actually in the Caribbean. So it's close enough to cruise out of Baltimore. It was only a 5-night, 6-day cruise. We were to be docked in Bermuda for 2 days. I was looking forward to that. I'm not a huge fan of cruising. I'd only been on one cruise before. And I don't like you're only in port for a few hours. It just really isn't enough time to see anything. You're kind of just there where everybody getting off the cruise ships are. So it's very touristy. Not my favorite method of travel, but my best friend asked me if I would go with her and her husband and her mom, and it was Bermuda, and I would love to see Bermuda. So that was the plan. Then the tropical storm started coming through, and we got notice the night before that we would not be cruising to Bermuda. We would actually be cruising to the Bahamas. I've been to the Bahamas before, wasn't a huge fan. And it's also in the Caribbean, so it's south of Florida, a lot farther to cruise. So it meant that it was a lot of time sailing, really only a few hours at one island in an afternoon, and then a few hours the next morning at a different island, and then heading back north. So it was kind of the craze, just here's this touristy stuff and now get back on the boat kind of trip. But I thought, okay, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna look at it as I get to spend a week with my best friend. We used to travel together quite a bit, and then she got married, so I lost my travel partner. But so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. The Bahamas were disgusting hot. It was very humid. It was only in the 80s, but the humidity was through the roof. It was not comfortable at all. And then on the trip back, we did hit weather from the tropical storm. So that boat was rocking badly. Badly enough that, as we were walking down like the shopping promenade area, you caught yourself kind of walking this way and then walking this way as the ship rocked side to side. And then they started announcing on the speakers that if anybody needed motion sickness pills, you could get those at the casino and guest services and all over the place. And they had barf bags tied to all of the railings and the elevators. And fortunately, I don't get seasick, so that was fine. But then the next day was the last day of the cruise, and I woke up feeling terrible, not seasick, but definitely with a fever and terrible. So got home and tested, and the cruise gave me COVID as my going away present. So that was my first time having COVID. I've been vaxxed and boosted and all the fun stuff there and have managed to avoid getting it, but I did get COVID, and it wasn't, all things considered, it wasn't too terrible. It kind of felt like a horrible head cold and the flu. At the same time, the fever was the most aggravating from it, or left me feeling the crappiest, and the fever lasted almost a week. So we were to return Thursday last week, and I thought I would have last weekend. I had some other plans. I had to cancel those. Then I thought, okay, I'll get some stitching done. Yeah, I didn't really even feel up to stitching. So I did do a lot of binge watching and catching up on some Netflix shows, and I had several episodes of Court Cam recorded, so I got to watch some junky television. If you're looking for some good shows on Netflix, I watched The Night Agent. If you were a fan of 24, the show with Kiefer Sutherland, where he works for the FBI, CIA, I can't remember, some government agency. Night Agent reminded me of 24. So it's sort of the lone FBI guy going up against the government because he doesn't know who the traitor is that's in the White House. So kind of thriller, suspense. It's pretty light. So I binge watched all of that, and then I binge watched a show called Dear Child, which was a German police drama. It definitely had some darker themes, but it was it held my attention too and had kind of a surprise ending. So yeah, so that was my binge watching. I didn't really watch Flosstube. I didn't watch too much on YouTube. I kind of just dialed into Netflix. I keep thinking I'm gonna catch up on all my shows on Netflix and then cancel the subscription for a while, and every time I think I'm gonna cancel, then I realize, oh, now there's some new series or season out and I want to watch that first. So anyway, that was my week, and then I did get some stitching done this week. Just not as much, you know. Normally if I were gonna have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days at home with nothing to do but binge watch some TV, I would be in stitching heaven. But there were a couple days where I really just laid there in my stitching seat thinking a lot about stitching, but not stitching at all because I really just didn't feel like doing anything. So thankfully I made it through the work week. Now it's the weekend. I would normally have filmed this yesterday. Today's Saturday. But last night I was pretty wiped out after the week of work. I think I was expecting to rebound faster from COVID than I did. Once the fever went away, just feeling really tired has been my lingering symptom, I would say. Like, I've fallen asleep a couple nights watching TV at 7:30, and that's unheard of. I'm normally a midnight kind of bedtime person. But anyway, I will share with you my stitching. I had some other good stuff. I got my replacement daylight lamp. So I've mentioned before I had a problem with my daylight lamp. I filed a claim with them and they have shipped me a brand new lamp. So fantastic service from them. Wasn't happy that the lamp broke in the first place, but absolutely zero complaints with how quickly they responded and shipped out the new light and everything. They were fantastic. So kudos to them. And I think other than that, I haven't done any shopping or anything. Even lying around on the sofa watching TV last weekend. I avoided any online shopping. But I will share with you the stitching that I've got done. So I've been working on my temperature motif, which is by Zahra Design Studio. This is the pattern. And here's her Etsy shop name. It's Zahra Design Studio on Etsy. She has several temperature motif patterns, and I chose this one. Let me get it closer. I like just the little random motifs. It kind of had a quilt look to it. So that's the one that I selected. There was a pattern error. The design started snaking its way back and forth, and then some way partway through the year, it started just going left to right. Now, I continued snaking. It's not a big deal, but it was an odd thing in the pattern that I came across. But here's where I'm at. I did actually take it out of the hoop so you could see everything that's on there so far. I'm doing this on, I think it's 16, it's either 16 or 18 count Aida. I picked it because it will finish up in an 8x8 standard frame. And I am so excited because I'm finally getting back into the cool colors. I got a little green here. And there wasn't very much red this summer, although we had some right before I went on the cruise. We had our one and only heat wave of the summer where it's, I forget, 4 consecutive days over 90. But now we are moving back into the green. In fact, one day this week I woke up and I was really cold and I thought, oh, I thought this fever was done with. Now I've got the chills. And then I went and looked at the thermostat and it was only 64 in my house. So it wasn't the chills from COVID. It was actually cold in the damn house that morning. So not ready to turn the heat on yet, but I'm very excited. I'm not a hot weather person. So I am thrilled to death that we've got some cooler weather coming now. When I was on the cruise, I took, and this is a little crumpled because I did have it with me, it's Carolyn Manning Designs and it's called Starstruck. And I chose this one for the cruise because I'm also doing it on Aida. I'm doing it on 16 count. And I can see to work on 16 count without any type of magnification or special light. I just need kind of decent light, but I don't need like bright task lighting or anything. So I did get a good start on this. I got this corner done up here. You can see where my hoop was. So this one will make a great travel project. I don't know that I'll work on this again now. I may just keep this one for travel where I know I'm gonna have limited light or no magnification, because it is easy to work on that way. Another thought that I had was next year maybe doing this one similar to the temperature chart, not using temperatures, but just doing a square each day. Now this is only one little corner of the pattern. It's just this upper corner here is all that I got done, so it is actually significantly bigger. Yeah, it's just that one corner right there. But really happy with this. It's stitching up really nicely. I like the colors. There are some holes in there that aren't filled in, and it's because I may swap out the color. There's kind of a purple in it, and I don't know that I want purple. I may add some other blues and greens, so that's why those are kind of empty holes right now, until I can get a little bit further and then decide what I want to do with that. But having fun with that. And I decided Ada actually makes the stitches look very neat and uniform, and it ends up being full coverage. I mean, the only thing that's going to show is going to be like 1/4 of an inch around the edge when I finish it in the tray that I have for it. So no one would even ever know what kind of cloth it's stitched on. So perfect project for Ada. This next one is my Jardin Prive, ABC de la Brodeuse. And this is the pattern. And last time, I'll put a picture in maybe over here with where I was, but I was down here just with the ABC, and I have worked past that. So I'm now down to F. I forget what F is gonna be. It's not floss. Oh, fabric. Yeah, so everything that you're seeing, I didn't have the white in her apron stitch, so I stitched that, and then everything down below cotton. I think I had part of cotton stitched, but everything down below that I've stitched. This one's gone really quickly. This lace here, though, that took quite a bit of time. It's a lot of X's and back stitch to give it that lacy look, and it's really cool looking, but it did take some time. I kind of got in a rhythm with it, but it was a big chunk to stitch there, so I was happy with getting that done. And once I get a little bit further, I'll unroll this so that you can see the whole thing, but for now I'm just going to keep advancing it on the the holder thing. This next one is one that I picked up when I was on my way to Stitch North. I stopped at Hobby House in Pittsford, New York, and I picked up this Zahra Sparke 1806, and it's one in their Hobby House press. And I have to confess, once I started stitching on it, it's a little bit boring. It's all alphabet. So there's not a lot of motifs on here. It is mostly just alphabet. I think it was, well, I know it was the colors that attracted me to it. That, and I wanted something from there that would be something that I could only get there. Sort of as my souvenir of having been to Hobby House. Don't know that I will get back there again. Unless I go for a class or something, but I did, but I love the colors. You can see they actually go with my scarf shawl thing that I put on, but they're really pretty colors. And I am stitching this one on 40 count. So this is my first foray into 40 count. And it's Fox and Rabbit Flannel Flower, which is a really nice soft modeling. It's a cream color, and then this modeling is a little bit in the grays, but I'm really liking that. And it's with the Soie d'Agé. And I put them on these floss drops, which I got from Stitching in My Pajamas. it was one that somebody swapped me at one of the retreats, and I have no idea which retreat it was, but I thought it was the colors that matched my project and the style. I thought it went perfect, so that's what I put these on the floss straps. So my first time using the Soie, and there are things I like. The stitches are very neat looking, so I do like that. Let me get it up close, you can see it. This is on 40 count, 1/2. I will say, having worked with some other silks, that these start to get fuzzy and fray out on the end faster than some other ones. Now, it may be because I'm dragging it through 40 count. I suspect that's part of the problem, but I am working on another project with the same silks, and it's on 36 count, and I'm noticing the same thing. So I definitely would use a shorter length of this than I would with cotton floss, or I haven't really experienced this with other silks like Silks for You or Dinky Dyes, or even the Belle Soies, as much as I am with this. But it's a lot of alphabet. There's not many motifs on here, so I got a little bored. That's how far I got. It won't be very big on the 40 count. But that's my souvenir from Hobby House, so that's all good. And these are the colors in my living room. I have kind of the gold, and I have a couple greens in there, so it's gonna look really, really nice in there whenever I get this finished. So while I'm talking about those silks, here's the other piece that I'm stitching. This is Auvers Soie. It was called a French Summer. Oh, Reflet de Soie. A French Summer. And it was a mystery box. It came with, I think, 15 packs. They were each wrapped in tissue. And I did open all of them because I bought this long after the summer was over. I can't find anybody that has stitched this. And I love these colors, and these again were some floss drops from somebody at one of the retreats. They are from Alex Kate Stitches, and it's the same silks that I'm working with on the Hobby House piece. And here is where I am. So this is going to be huge. I can't even get it all on camera. I think it was going to come out like 17 by 18 on 36 count. I didn't want to do, it's a lot of stitching. I didn't want to do it on 40 count. So it's 1/2 on 16 count. And like these alphabets, that A is maybe 3.5 inches tall. And it's the full alphabet. And then this border does look like it's just a very even repeating all the way around the square. So, the border was kind of fun and mindless, and then the monogram was more counting and fun. I don't know if you can see, it's actually got the green in there. It's not showing up. Like all those little dots on the A are actually stitched in with green, and for some reason it's reading as just no color. The same green that is in the leaves on the A are also in each of those little dots that are on the A. So, but this one was fun. That one actually stitched up really quickly. It's 15 pages, and that's almost one page. So there's like the page, I've got the width done, and then at the bottom there's the start of whatever letter is below the A. I think it's like D maybe. No, it can't be D. It's got to be higher in the alphabet than that. But anyway, that's where I'm at with that one. And that one is on Dirty Porcelain, so 36 count, and it's from Roxy Floss Co. I bought it when I was at Stitch North, and it is just a really subtle, you can kind of tell, like where it looks like it's wrinkled, that's actually some really subtle modeling. So I had bought a half yard of that, and it's a good thing I did because a quarter yard is not big enough for this piece on 36 count. It's pretty big. And then the last piece I worked on was Welcome to the North Pole, the Primrose Cottage stitches, and October was the cocoa down here. So I only have 2 months left in the stitch along, or September I mean was the cocoa. So the only 2 months, I've got the little village here for October. So I'll start it next week. And then I've got the little Mr. and Mrs. Claus and the sleigh for November, and then it will be finished. I'm doing it in DMC, and it is on 28 count fiber on a whim, milk and honey. And I got my cocoa stand all done. Last time I had these vases of flowers, and I had the 2 little elves in the bottom here done, but I still had a few of the snowflakes up here, and I had the whole cocoa stand to do. So I got that finished. And this one has just been a fun, it actually goes pretty quickly. So each month I've been able to finish my month section within the first couple weeks, and it's not the only thing I stitched on in those couple weeks, so it goes pretty fast. And I've only got 2 sections left, and then it will be ready to frame. I'm excited. It'll be fun to have it framed in November so that I can actually have it out this year. And so I guess it wasn't too bad. That was what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things I stitched on in 2 weeks, and that was with being sick. So I guess that's not too horrible. Didn't get any shopping done. My plans last weekend, I had been going to go up to an antique market that is actually only open on weekends through September. So they only have a few weekends left, and I'm not sure I'm going to make it up there. I thought maybe since I couldn't go last weekend, I would go this weekend. But I'm still not feeling 100%. It kind of took everything out of me today just to go grocery shop, and it's also rainy and crappy, and it's an outdoor flea market, so that got nixed for this weekend. So maybe next weekend. I was hoping I could go look for some more some old hand stitched, table scarves and things like that I want to use to make some project bags. And hopefully next time I will have some finished, and I can show you what I'm been trying to describe that I want to do with these dresser scarves and things on project bags. So I want to try to get some done. I started pulling some fabric before I went on the cruise, and that was part of what I was going to do last weekend while I was away. I was supposed to have a sewing night with some friends, but couldn't go to that because at that point I felt like crap and I was contagious, so nobody wanted me there. So I'm hoping I can get a couple of those done, and then I've got a couple other samplers that I want to stitch on some more, and I'm probably going to stitch on the I'm probably going to stitch on this one some more. I'm really loving this one. I'm going to have a hard time putting this one down until it's done. It's just a quick, well, it's very relaxing on 28 count, and it goes pretty fast. And I like you kind of do a little motif and then you move on and you stitch something completely different. That's one of the things that I do like about samplers. And I actually don't mind. I like stitching letters, just letters like this. Get a little bit tedious, but this where it's a motif, some letters, a motif, some letters, I'm having fun on this one. So I will likely stitch on this one again, and then when is October? I don't know if I'll stitch on this one before I film again next time or not. I think I'm going to go to every 2 weeks. With it being just me by myself, I don't stitch on enough things. I don't feel like to really fill up an episode every week. So I may go to an every 2 week rotation with filming. I want to try to keep regular since it is a diary of what I've been working on. I was starting to go back and look to see what finishes did I have this year, and I had started out being really good keeping track of it in a journal, and then I lost track, but I've realized that I can go back to the videos, and since I usually start with the finishes, I can move through pretty quickly, or even in the description on each of my videos, to see what, to finish out my list of what I finished this year. So yeah, I'm thinking probably every 2 weeks. I also need to rein in my shopping so that I don't have shopping stuff to show every week. So anyway, I hope everybody is having a fantastic week and enjoying whatever weather you're getting this week. I know a lot of parts of the country are starting to cool down. Fall is my absolute favorite season, so I'm loving that and so excited. And yeah, I think that's everything for this week. So take care, everybody. Thank you for visiting, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.